What's up and welcome back to Rumor Has It Official. Let's get straight into talking about 90 Day Fiance. This is part 1 of the early premiere of season 7, episode 5. And the title of this episode is We Need to Talk. Starting off with Mike and Natalie. So it's the next morning and Natalie says that she finally gets to wake up to her man. While Natalie is making some breakfast for Mike, he mentions the visa and he wants to go down to the embassy to just kind of get a status of what's going on, why there was a hold on the visa in the first place. When Natalie brings the breakfast and coffee to the table, Mike says, "Do you want to call your mom down?" Natalie responds that she has to talk to him about something. She has her head down and says, "I don't know how to tell you." So then she finally says that she wants a child and she feels that they're both ready. Mike responds, "Right now? Can we eat breakfast first?" Natalie then tells the camera crew that she wants to have a baby mostly because of her age. Mike agrees with Natalie that they are both at an age that they should be thinking about starting a family, but he wants to focus on getting her to America first. Plus, we all know that he is in debt, but he hasn't told Natalie that information yet. So Natalie is not trying to hear Mike though. She tells him wrong answer because she doesn't like that he won't just say yes to having kids right now. Natalie is pushy and persistent because she's trying to meet a deadline, obviously. So Mike says that he does feel that he should talk to Natalie about his debt before they consider having a child. Mike doesn't feel comfortable starting a family until he's confident that he can actually take care of them. And I really respect him for that because a lot of people don't think about those things. But I truly believe if you can prepare for it or plan it out, that would be easier on you. So I do agree with him. He's in debt and that wouldn't be a smart thing for him to just go along with that and get her pregnant. I believe that they really need to take their time with this. I just feel like she's rushing. I understand her age, but that doesn't mean you rush. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you just have a baby by anybody. So Natalie is still pleading her case, and Mike says that he wants to wait. When she does get pregnant, he wants to be a part of that experience. So Natalie wants to be pregnant all while waiting on her visa to get approved. She's begging him for this baby and doesn't care about looking at things from his perspective. Now, Mike tells the camera crew that Natalie is really pressing him, but he doesn't want to be rushed into any situation. So they have a lot to figure out. Let's move on to Anna and Marcel. So Anna and Marcel have 54 days to wed. And Marcel's been in America for about a month now. Anna is still going along with this charade and wasting her time by making honey jar favors and having Marcel make a honeycomb altar. Anna says that she's super overwhelmed by the language barrier and cultural differences. Plus, Marcel isn't getting along with any of her sons. The fact that she is still planning a wedding is crazy to me. So Anna wants to know how Marcel is feeling about their wedding. Marcel says that he's a little bit nervous. So Anna then says, "Well, what are your concerns?" Marcel then responds, "Joey and Gino." Anna says that she's sure that they both avoid talking about serious issues and blame it on the language barrier. He does, in fact, dodge certain issues on purpose by acting like he doesn't understand her. This whole relationship is pointless and a waste of time. While talking to Marcel about one thing, she realizes by his response that they're talking about two different things. They're both using the Google Translator app, but still unable to communicate effectively. So when Anna tells him that she doesn't even know if she wants to marry him, he starts laughing. Now, is he laughing because they're already married? Are they already married because he's wearing a band, she's wearing a band? I feel like at one point I was looking at her. The camera was lingering on her for a long time, and she seemed to be holding back from cracking a smile as well. So I'm really just not sure what's going on, but I think that this couple is, along with all the other couples up here, are hiding something. Let's move on to Robert and Anny. So things are still tense between these two. So they go to a gym to blow off some steam. Robert says that he doesn't want to get rid of the photos with his children involved in it. When they get in the gym, they put on their boxing gloves and are both introduced to their instructor, which is a pro boxer. I'm going to call him the instructor, kind of back and forth, or I'm going to say his name. So the instructor and Anny start speaking Spanish to each other once he finds out that she's from the Dominican Republic. Robert is hoping that Anny won't talk about their issues and problems with the instructor. During their boxing session, they start to open up to their instructor and tell him things about the visa process, adding that they only have 90 days to get married. So instructor, he tells the camera crew that he'd be surprised if they even last for 2 months. Anny is definitely giving him hard eyes. This is just what I think. So Miguel then says to Anny in Spanish, "Is there anything that's worrying you?" She then responds in English saying that Robert hides a lot from her. Her and Robert, now they start going back and forth. Then Anny starts speaking in Spanish again to the instructor. Robert tells the camera crew that if Anny has a problem, that she shouldn't look at the photos. Now, Anny says Robert has an excuse for everything, and he's going to have to erase the photos if he wants to marry her. The instructor then tells the camera crew that Anny seems like a lot, and that Robert is going to have his hands full. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Let's move on to Michael and Juliana. So Michael is taking Juliana out and leaving his kids home alone. He says after his divorce, he found a 2-bedroom close to town, but they've outgrown the place, so he's decided to buy a house. Michael takes Juliana to a furniture store, and during their one-on-one time with the camera crew, the producer wants to know which one of them has expensive tastes. And Michael slants his eyes, basically trying to say on the low that Juliana does. But Juliana says that she doesn't. She then says, "Then why do you give me your credit card?" And he says because he thought that he could trust her with it. So during the furniture shopping, somehow they come across a $14,000 couch, and Juliana loves it. But Michael says that he's not sure it's the best use of $14,000. The producer then questions them, saying, "Have the two of you discussed finances at all?" Michael starts stuttering, saying that we haven't talked about finances yet or shared finances. While they take a break from furniture shopping, the topic comes up about Juliana buying a car on his credit card. Now, her reasoning for buying the car is a bunch of crap. She wasn't sure if the visa was going to go through, so she purchased the car just in case. Even though I feel like her excuse is a bunch of crap, I don't fault her because Michael was dumb enough to give her access to his credit cards. Instead of just sending her money if he wanted to help her out, he gave her his credit card. So that's basically like saying, just take all my money, do what you want to do. I'm not giving you a limit. You just do whatever you want to do. The only limit is the limit that's on this card, basically. So Juliana says that the car she got with his credit card is being used as a cab by her sister. Her sister is using it to make money. Let's move on to Emily. So Emily is being released from the hospital. They most likely gave her some time away from filming because the baby is now 8 weeks. And then they show the baby at like 3 or 5 months. Like they hop. That very first time they showed her deliver the baby, we seen the baby as an infant. The pieces were everything was really choppy, kind of and sped through because we hadn't seen them for a couple of episodes. It was just crazy. Emily says that Sasha's parents are around and they've been a lot of help with the baby. In the next clip that they show Sasha interacting with the baby with no shirt on or his pants, and he really needed to put on some clothes. The cameras film everything, anything and everything. And I've said this before, like when they would film Benjamin, he's in there trying to take a shower, wash up in that little tail bathroom, and they're right there. I mean, can you give people privacy when they filmed Darcy in the airport washing up? I mean, can you give the people some privacy? I understand this is reality TV, but I think you would be good without showing us, people on the toilet or people just getting out of the shower in the bathroom. Like, can we have a little bit of class and respect for some of these people, even though they don't have it for themselves? Because if it were me being filmed, I would say, okay, you can film me everywhere else, but while I'm in the bathroom, I'm in the bathroom. You're not going to film me while I am in the bathroom. So I just feel like they could have left that out because, I mean, he was just all hanging out in his drawers. I'm like, this is not a Calvin Klein men's campaign for underwear. I mean, it was just like, we get that you're proud of your muscles and all of that, but put some clothes on. Put some doggone clothes on. So moving on, Sasha's visa was approved, but they hit a roadblock with the baby's passport. Emily is very resentful toward Sasha because he didn't apply for it when she told him to. She also adds that she's been taking care of the baby 100% without any help from Sasha. She says that due to his work schedule, they barely have time as a couple, adding that Sasha probably spends 5 hours minimum, a week with the baby. Emily says that she doesn't know if any of this was worth it and she's ready to go home. Let's move on to Blake and Jasmine. So it's the next morning and Blake is going down to the pool and will be meeting up with some of his friends despite Jasmine saying that she just wanted a low-key day. Jasmine says that she is not that excited about the pool party because she just wants to relax. And I can completely understand that, especially if you just come off of a long flight, just being somewhere new and taking that all in. So I do understand. I think regardless to the situation, anybody would feel like that if they were moving somewhere. She's trying to get adjusted. And I feel like there's always a time to meet friends, but he really, to me, just wants to show off that he has somebody like Jasmine on his arm. So once all his friends arrive, they begin with the questions, which seem to be basic, common questions, just to get to know her. It doesn't seem like they're going in and prying too much. They're not saying to her, are you on birth control? Like Bryson's grandmother was saying to Anny. They're not saying, what are your intentions? Even though they want to know those things, but I feel like you have to tread very lightly to get a person to open up to you. They have to feel like they can trust you to talk to you. So they all start ordering drinks except for Jasmine. She doesn't drink. She begs Blake not to drink, but he decides to order a drink anyway. Well, 2 drinks. Jasmine says if she is going to kiss Blake, she'd prefer his mouth not taste like alcohol. Now, after a while, Jasmine tells Blake that she doesn't feel good and just wants to go and lay down. Then she tells the camera crew that she's normally polite, but just wants to rest, adding that she's there to marry Blake and not his friends. Let's move on to Tania and Syngin. So Tania thinks that things are going great with her and Syngin despite bumping heads. They decide to go meet up with Tania's sister for lunch, and her sister is putting this lunch together so that Tanya's whole family can meet Syngin. Her family welcomes Syngin and says that he's part of their family now. Tanya's grandmother says that she's expecting Syngin to respect them or she'll be the first one to get up in his face. Oh, okay. So now we see where Tania gets it from. Tania tells her family that she's going to be leaving in 3 weeks to go to Costa Rica to learn herbalism. She claims that it's an investment for her and Syngin's future so that they can start a business. If that's the case, why is she going alone? So she says that she's leaving him behind and will be gone for 1 month. She says with the K-1 visa, he's not allowed to leave America. Her sister tells the camera crew that she thinks that it's a recipe for disaster, not success. So I really need to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. This is the early premiere, part 1 of 90 Day Fiance, season 7, episode 5. Again, the title of this episode is We Need to Talk. Comment down below letting me know your thoughts on this episode. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and share with a friend who also loves watching 90 Day Fiance. Hit that subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified on the next time that I make an upload, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.